it's not easy to buy something like this. So far, sand, stones, they don't wobble. Moles checked. Okay guys, so the mileage is 3 days and about 15 kilometers. I expected that not to happen, but I hope too much. So it has been 9 days since I've been using these shoes. You can see this. It may not be the same for each and every person. They are a little bit heavy. You need to keep your feet inside. You may run full speed. Everything is fine from every side, every angle. I use them for a month now. You may sprint, you may run. That's why it's easy to run actually. And this high edge, which makes your feet stay inside. It's been 2 years I own these shoes. We go like this, never do this. Even some dangerous cliffs, I feel fine and protected. The sole seems to be wider. They look trashy, they are used, but they are fully functional. I'm still using them. It's very similar, very close. Let me use these ones for a little while and I'll tell you the results, which one I like better. Here they are guys, Salomon Reelax Break 4.0. That's the way they look. I will not do the regular review, like people just get the product out and they say, oh, these are so nice. The sole is like this, like the look is like this, the color. Yeah, these are all nice things, but sometimes you like something when you see it and then you actually use it and it's unusable. I will use them in sand, on the beach, long distances. I will use them for regular roads, for tracks, and then after I properly use them, let's see what my feelings are. The reason I chose these are expensive, but right, they have this fancy sole when your feet supposed to stay inside, and I really hope they're gonna be really good and much better than any of my previous flip-flops. So let's see how that works out, because I have some concerns as well. They are a little bit heavy, so they're definitely not light. But I hope it's gonna be justified. The weight should be reliable as well. So my expectations are high. Let's see how it works out. Let's see this review in a few months after I use them properly. They're gonna be dirty, but yeah, the review will be much more informative. So far, expectations are fully met. So I'll try them on different terrains, like harsh terrains like this, sand, stones, and they work just fine. They work just fine. Your feet stay snug, no problem. I will still try them long distances, but so far, really impressed with the quality. How fixed your feet are inside of them and how cozy it is. So far it's very good. I'm in the mall and yeah, obviously for this terrain it's easy to use them, but what I wanted to mention, they don't squeak, You walk comfortably, like they don't wobble, they don't squeak on this slippery surface. So yeah, moles checked. Okay guys, so the mileage is 3 days and about 15 kilometers. One thing to mention, okay, this is my feet. See this? Yeah, so I hope this doesn't happen in future, so when I get used to them, but here we go. This one is still fine, nothing there. No pain anywhere. That's the only problem. That's usually what happens with this type of shoes. I expected that not to happen, but I hope too much. But yeah, I hope it goes away and in future there will be no such problem. Okay guys, so it has been 9 days since I've been using these shoes. Generally speaking, they are fine. There are a couple of downsides. First one, you can see this. That's what happened from them. It may depend on your feet. It may not be the same for each and every person. As you see, here is fine. That one got a little bit sore. They are a little bit heavy, just a tiny bit heavy. And the last thing, these wedges on the sides, these borders, if you do not keep your feet inside snug, if you walk like this, these will hurt a little bit. So for extended periods of time, you need to keep your feet inside, because it's like a wedge and it's a little bit sharp. So things to mention. But in general, they are fine. It's not easy to buy something like this. Salomon actually has only one model, and this is the one they have. Most of the flip-flops you see on the market are just flat. There's like a flat board, and they have something like this in the middle. Those break easily, those do not stay on your feet, they're very difficult to wear, but these are supposed to be much better. The price was high. I bought it for $40, and that was actually a sale. Usually they retail for $60, $65. So as for this type of shoes, it's not that cheap, but not too expensive either. You get some really bad Nikes or Adidas for that price as well. The initial impression is very good. They look nice and they feel really well built. You can feel that price that you pay, and this rubber on the bottom looks reliable, and yeah, the look is amazing. There is no smell, you know. It's all rubber, but there is no smell. So that speaks about the quality, because those cheap ones usually they smell badly. What I like about these shoes, when you can see the terrain, yeah, it's sharp stones, uneven surface, but still no problem. You may run full speed on the stones and nothing happens to your feet, so that's a nice thing about these shoes, which I couldn't do using any other flip-flops. Like, I wouldn't be that safe on this kind of surface with any other flip-flops having this type of speed. So that's what I like about them. So it has been a couple of days since I stopped using these shoes. I stopped using them for a few days because my feet were hurt, but now they're fine. And what it looks like, actually, they have broken in. Now they feel totally fine. Everything is fine from every side, every angle. I don't feel any tension anywhere. My feet are okay, so it looks like they are great shoes, but you have to break them in. Your feet have to get used to them, and you know, that's the way it works. So don't expect much when they're brand new, but after a while, they're amazing. Okay guys, I use them for a month now, and I use them constantly every day for a month. I still get this scratches, you see, small bruises. So yeah, maybe that's my feet, but there you go. But one thing to consider, guys, I walk a lot. Like, for example, today I walked like 12 kilometers. So if I was using regular flip-flops, I wouldn't even be doing that, because that's not possible. It is possible, but you know, it's very, very unlikely. I would walk this long distances in regular flip-flops. In these I can do it. Yes, my feet get sore a little bit, but that's the downside. I don't think it will change, because I use them for a month. I use them every day constantly, so the feet get sore a little bit, so that's the downside, but the sole is amazing. And one thing why I like these shoes especially, guys, you may sprint, you may get some high speed in these shoes, no problem, easily. You may run. However, I wouldn't recommend on doing this on gravel, in harsh terrains, but regular terrains are just fine. So they have this cushioned sole, which resembles a sneaker. That's why it's easy to run, actually. And this high edge, which makes your feet stay inside. These two things make it possible to use them as running shoes wherever you need. They are definitely not the running shoes, but if you need to run, they will not behave like regular flip-flops. I mean, it's actually possible. Never seen something like this in previous flip-flops I owned. Those feel like flat planks on your feet that may actually damage your feet, and you may fall. So we're going back to that beach, which is the Acti Christi. But guys, whenever you go to Greece, be aware of spikes. There are all various kinds of spikes everywhere. You can have serious damage, and you can get yourself very, oh, no, actually done it. So you can harm yourself really bad. There are all kinds of sorts of spikes all over the place. Very, very dangerous terrain. So yeah, we go like this. Never do this. Take some trekking shoes, and yeah, be aware of that. It's been 2 years I own these shoes, and they get even better and better. They get used to your feet. You can even hike in these shoes. Like, it's not something I recommend, but you can hike, and they are totally fine. Amazing shoes. You have to get used to them. Sometimes it's painful, yeah, but they are much better than regular flip-flops. You can do things you cannot do using your regular flip-flops. So these are something like sneakers slash flip-flops slash trekking shoes. Amazing, amazing. So we're going back, and again, all sorts of spikes everywhere. Extremely easy to harm your feet here, and I actually did it yesterday, so we had to mend my wounds. Yeah, even some dangerous cliffs, I feel fine and protected. Check out what we found. Some really antique BMW. Looks like it's still running. Nice. Alright, so we're going down to Christi Acti Beach. It actually looks promising. We did not expect much, but it looks really nice. So we're going down the road. The parking is huge, lots of cars everywhere, and the beach is huge as well. It leads to Hania. Okay, let's come closer. So it's summer 2023, and I liked the Break 4 so much. I bought them in summer 20, so this is my 4th year I'm using them. I'm still using them, so I like them so much I actually bought the Break 6. So I skipped the Break 5, couldn't find them, but it even says that this is so high quality product that I used them for 4 years, still using them. And I skipped the version 5, so I bought the version 6. I'll be trying this out in a little bit and will tell you the results, but right from the start, the sole seems to be wider, you see? The sole seems to be much wider than the Break 4. It doesn't feel much heavier, but definitely a little bit heavier. So that may make some difference. And these are a little bit smaller because I found those to be a little bit too big for me. So these are one size smaller. And the indentations, this hole inside, like, they are deeper because the sole is thicker. So yeah, you see, these are still fine. They look trashy, they are used, but they are fully functional. I'm still using them. The soles are a little bit different, but generally speaking, it's very similar, very close. Alright guys, so I'm using the newer model for a couple of weeks already. From what I can say, this model is better indeed, because the cushion is a little bit thicker, a little bit better cushion in there, and the bevels are higher. Apart from all of those, actually these are one size smaller, which is very important, as it turns out to be. This is not as important in regular sneakers, but in these shoes this is important, because these bevels, they protect your feet and fingers, and if the size is bigger, it will not work the same way. The snug will be not the same. So Actually, it's very important for this type of slippers to have them properly sized, and yeah, better to return if it's too big. If it's too small, you will not be able to wear it, even because the bevels, they will grind into your feet. But if it's too big, it's still work. You can still use them, but it will not be as effective. Like, it will be difficult to run in them, and they may actually damage your feet here. I will show you on my other foot. Like, there is this constant problem here. This only happens with my right foot for some reason. They actually damage your feet a little bit here, like there's this sore spot here. And the same pertains to this older model, the red ones. So I assume it depends on your feet size and your feet shape. So that's important. Also, you have to try them first, but as per the performance, these are hands down the best slippers I've ever had, actually. And that's understandable because I used to have some cheap, like $10 slippers before these, but yeah, these are great.